I'm a mom of three, and that sort of threads through everything I do and how I think about my life and how I approach my work. And I've learned a lot through parenting to help me with my leadership journey, my management journey, and a lot of different things in my life, and even my autism story. And we can talk about that, like getting to my own diagnosis for autism and for ADHD came through my journey with my children. So they are center focus in my life at all times.
Yeah, but I really do want to touch on that. And why did you decide to seek, an assessment of autism and ADHD at the age of 49? That's significant.
Yeah, so it's something that I had been thinking about.
Mhm.
And I think, when I think about like my childhood journey, I was a weird kid, right? My whole life, everybody always just said, well, Naima's a little bit weird. We just sort of accept that Naima's a little different. And I think I got used to being weird, right? And then as we went through the journey with my children, and all three of them are neurodiverse in some way, I started to notice how I was able to communicate with my son in ways that his teachers couldn't. I
Mhm.
was able to help him to understand things when he couldn't get it from his teachers. And at some point, it just occurred to me, I'm like, well, what if my brain works the same way that his does? So
Mhm.
I got myself on a list, and I was on the list. I was on a few lists for about a year and a half.
Mhm.
And I think it's really hard as an adult to find an assessment, right? I think most places are interested in studying children. And, our generation, I'm a Gen Xer, we didn't have this, right? Like this wasn't part of our childhood experience. I think I started to be aware of ADD when I was in high school, and they were looking at little kids. And so for me, like it wasn't a part of my childhood journey because it wasn't really possible. And so then I finally had a conversation with a friend, and she mentioned that she had just gotten her diagnosis and that she had
Yeah.
found an organization that specifically focused on adults. And I was like, okay, this is it. Like, I'm doing it. Like, let's make it happen. And so finally, got the diagnosis, and there were no surprises, right? What was interesting was the language and beginning to understand like where my challenges are and where I need support. And I think for most of it, I kind of knew, I just felt like this part's really hard. And so getting some clarity on that, getting some language around that was really vital. But really, again, it came through my kids. It came through understanding their experience and then starting to question my own.
If you just enjoyed that video, check out the longer version right here.